Should all professionals demonstrate executive presence? What do you think about that? I say yes. Executive presence is not just for professionals in the C suite. All professionals, regardless of position or title, have a great opportunity to develop their executive presence. And in doing so, it creates opportunities for them to increase their own confidence as well as the confidence of others in them in helping to get toward a common goal. Hi, I'm Andrea from Elite Leadership Coaching by Andrea, and today I want to share 3 effortless tips for you to increase your executive presence. Executive presence is valuable because when it's used appropriately and consistently, it actually creates opportunities for you to be invited into decision making circles more often, project management circles more often. It may create opportunities for stronger relationships with vendors if you're in a small business. That may lead to discounts, getting heads up about new products before everyone else. So executive presence is indeed a skill, and so that means that anybody can learn it. And so I want to share these 3 tips with you today to help you to grow your executive presence. So after I give you these 3 tips, I want you to practice, 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 put them into play, and just watch how people's sort of interaction with you, belief in you, confidence in you, uh, how all of that changes and shifts. And what you should see is over the course of time, if you're consistent with putting these skills into play, if you're consistent, you should see where you're probably being invited to meetings that you haven't been invited into before. More people are asking for your thoughts and opinions about different topics and subjects. Okay? So, the first tip that I want to share with you is to be attentive, which can be very difficult in 2019. There's, email, there's text messages, your social media, you're getting ding, 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 you got calendar appointments. So many things are, happening right before our eyes. And so I want to ask you to be attentive intentionally and consistently. So that means when you're in a meeting, phone on silent, you're not looking at it every, 10 to 20 seconds, um, that you are truly present inside of the meeting that is occurring. And so that also means that you're participating in the conversation, you're adding to the dialogue, you're sharing your thoughts and opinions, you're asking questions. And so by being attentive consistently and intentionally, a it helps to increase your knowledge about things that are going on because you can really hear and understand without distractions and multitasking. So you're able to really, have a really rich understanding of the issue and the opportunities. The other thing that being attentive does is it increases your it increases your confidence, and it increases other people's confidence in you, which I stated just a second ago. And in doing so, it creates a very important foundation of trust. And so, by first working on the skill of being attentive, what you're also doing is building a really solid foundation of trust. And so other people will begin to trust you a little bit more. And in doing so, um, they will come to you with issues. They will come to expect a certain type of presence and participation from you. And so that's actually something that you want to have happen. Trust builds relationships, and relationships build a very strong, powerful career in small business. So, the second tip that I want to share with you is to develop your awareness of how people interact and perceive you. Develop your awareness of how people interact and perceive you. And so this is really about asking for feedback from other people, regardless of your position title. 360 feedback is what it's called. Regardless of your position or title, at least on an annual basis, you want to ask your coworkers, your supervisor, um, key partners that you work with on a regular basis. Um, you want to ask them what it's like to work with you. What are your strengths? Where are your opportunities for improvement? And then once you get that feedback, you want to actually develop a plan to work on those things that people have said are your opportunities for improvement, and those things that you're really strong in. Of course, you want to keep doing those things. Uh, and so, asking for feedback once a year can really help to change and shift how you show up. Um, it can change and shift sort of um, how people perceive you when you enter a room or participating in a meeting or a project, or if you're working with a vendor or a customer. And that's really what you're looking for. You're looking to grow. You're looking to understand how people see you versus what you think, how you think people sort of see you. You want to make sure and confirm that. So you want to be intentional in asking for that feedback, at least on an annual basis. And so as you're, consistently developing that ability to relate to others authentically, you're creating increased positive experiences, trust, which I just talked about a minute ago. So all of this is about building layers of trust to create powerful relationships for a powerful career in small business. And so by really being intentional in developing how others perceive you, it's just another opportunity to build that trust. In addition, it also helps people to know that they can be honest with you. And so when you receive that feedback, you receive it in a positive light, you're gracious, you're grateful, you're appreciative of the feedback, and especially of those things where people say, sort of express their thoughts about your opportunities for improvement. And so, as people know that they can be honest with you, it creates an air of executive presence because you don't blow up, you're calm, you're cool, you're confident in crisis, you're confident in light of not so great news. And so, this is an opportunity to demonstrate that. The third thing that I want you to work on, of course, I'm always going to talk about communication. So many issues and problems and struggles that professionals and small business owners have is really centered and rooted in communication. And so, communicating well really increases your ability to clearly express your ideas, your expertise, and your opinions. And so, it's really important to have those things, to have ideas, to have thoughts, to have opinions. And when you have those things and you communicate them clearly, you don't hold them in, you share them appropriately. You don't share them, in anger. You share them with a positive attitude and a positive spirit. It really boosts your connection with other people. Okay, and so also with communication, your passion and your presence when you communicate those thoughts, ideas, expertise, and opinions, your passion and your presence is actually more important than what you're really saying. And so when people can sort of feel your energy, your passion about what you're communicating about, they pay attention, and they also are more likely to trust what it is that you're saying. They're also more likely to follow you toward whatever goal you all are working toward. And so you want to consistently work on your passion and communication and the way that you share your thoughts, opinions, ideas, and expertise. And of course, the old adage, that you hear about, try to do, I just did it. Try to limit the amount of fillers that you use in your communication, things of that nature. So when you're able to communicate clearly without as many fillers, people are able to understand you a little bit better. It also helps to create confidence in the things that you're saying as well. So, in addition, the last thing I want to talk about, I want to share with you as it relates to communication, you also want to avoid overwhelming people with information. And so, as you're sort of sharing your expertise, you're sharing your opinion, you may, share two or three sentences about that, provide a little bit of context as to where, this idea comes from, or maybe a recent research article or something in the market that you know about. You want to share that and then just allow other people to participate in the conversation. What do they think about it? What ideas do they have? Do they agree or do they disagree? Is there a middle ground that you all can come to based on the information that you share? So you just kind of want to communicate, share that information, and then give other people an opportunity to participate in the conversation and share their ideas as well, and to really work towards coming to consensus. And then finally, you want to remain calm when conversations become really difficult. This is really a key trait of executive presence. Executive presence means that no matter what's going on, chaos, crisis, many things happening at one time, that you're able to remain cool, calm, and collected. And so that is a skill that you have to practice. It's something that you have to say to yourself when you know that many things are happening, or when you know that there's a crisis situation. You might have to say to yourself, okay, let me take a breath. There are many things happening. Let me remain calm in the face of everyone. And again, in doing so, it helps to build trust. It helps to build confidence of people towards you. So that's really one of the key hallmark signs of executive presence, being able to remain calm and confident in crisis, in chaos, in multiple situations occurring. So those are three tips to work on developing your executive presence. And in doing so, because it really is an impactful professional skill that anybody can learn, anybody can use. It's not just for C-suite level professionals. It's not just for multi-million-dollar small business owners. It's really a key skill that anybody can learn and that anybody should use, regardless of your position, title, or size of your small business. Developing a skill, it will create opportunities for you to participate in key conversations and decision making, because people will have built such a wealth of trust and confidence in you that you'll be a part, you'll be invited and asked and encouraged. People will initiate conversations with you where they want you to be present. They want your thoughts, opinions, and expertise. Most of all, using executive presence, it will inspire others to work with you toward a common goal. So there you have it, 3 tips to develop your executive presence. I appreciate your time in listening to this really quick, effortless video. And if you will subscribe to my YouTube channel, turn on your comments, turn on your alerts, and drop in the comments, share some thoughts with me. What are your thoughts about executive presence? What are your challenges in developing executive presence? I would love to hear from you. So drop some comments down and let me know what you think. Until next time, thank you.